In 2001, the Heritage Lottery Fund set up the Young Roots programme.
To be honest, it was a really great experience, being able to instill and capture creativity and design and history and heritage and everything.
The aim was to help engage young people in heritage.
The sorts of young people that are coming to us in our school aren't always interested in heritage or what they perceive to be heritage.
So far, it has given over 20 million to youth and heritage organisations across the UK.
The relationships you get with the people that you're working with are amazing.
This is the story of just a few.
The idea for the project came about as I was mountain biking across local fells, and the landscape's littered with industrial heritage, and I just thought this is an ideal teaching opportunity for kids, basically, to get them into heritage. Our school is a school for pupils that have been excluded from mainstream schools, so the biking element was completely new, fresh element, and it's drawn them in. Would develop their mountain biking skills, which would develop their confidence and maintain their interest. Would also stop off at various heritage features to record the information. We'd take photographs, and we also did some work with GPSs, so we could actually plot the routes we were doing and plot the heritage features. They've gained a lot of information and an appreciation of their own history, really, as well as developing their biking skills, their confidence, and behaviour and attitudes, really, towards the general public. It's been great.
When young people said they wanted to put a festival on and combine it with heritage, with conservation, with everything, it was like, this is a lot to try and achieve.
In 2009, a group of young people staged a free festival in Bridgewater, Somerset. In conjunction with the festival, the young volunteers carried out a large amount of conservation for the National Trust.
It's basically an idea that we wanted to get a group of young people, around about 500 in total, to a National Trust property and get them to work for a full weekend and do about 2 years' worth of conservation work during that weekend.
This was a festival with a twist, and they thought that they could get young people to go to a free festival and give something back to society and to the community.
I absolutely love volunteering. I've done it for a couple of years now with different various organisations. It's a great way if you're out of work, because when you go to a job and they say, well, what have you been doing? You haven't just been sat there doing nothing, you've been out there actually doing stuff and interacting with people.
I'm personally very, I won't say surprised, but yes, surprised at how much enthusiasm there is from a lot of the youngsters.
Bringing young people in just changes the whole character of the place. It brings everything to life. It makes it a living place rather than just a dry, dusty old property.
We've done it. Now we're finished.
How does that feel?
Great. Great. And we know we're getting good food for doing it, so there's a reward at the end of it.
We thought that it would be interesting to look at children and their work, and we started to look at school records and things that are held at Aberdeen Archives. One of the people there said, why don't you look at poorhouse records? And that was us off.
She'll catch us, she'll beat us on the heat.
We found in the census in one year that there was a little girl, Lottie, and then we realised later that she had a different surname, and she'd been adopted by the governor and matron of the poorhouse.
It was kind of a different source of inspiration. Rona had directed us towards it, and then from there we were just really carried away by it, and we'd come in, and if some people had been at the archives the day before, then the next time we came to rehearsals we were kind of, oh, what's the update on Lottie?
We did the finding out of the information, we put together the story, we improvised it and rehearsed it, and the script was put down based on our improvisations.
They had a huge sense of ownership over the piece. You know, they were the ones who created the characters, who did the research, and then ended up performing it.
Six young people passionate about architecture got involved in exploring the heritage of King's Cross.
The idea for this project came from the fact that King's Cross is changing very, very fast, and lots of very exciting buildings that are being constructed, but also really interesting things happening to older buildings.
It's probably one of London's most historically rich areas, and at the same time one of London's most dynamic.
It was basically an interdisciplinary kind of project, so we got to do filmmaking, graphics, artwork and all that stuff.
We did a bit of web design, computer-aided design, lots of design workshops with architects, one of which was working with a heritage building, an old tram shed, and getting them to come up with a new life for that building.
My love for history has actually been brought out more through the project. I think history kind of is like a good reserve. It gets people to know more about what they are changing and see if they will still change it once they've known that. And I think for me, that's what I'll take away.
I think there's so few projects going around for architecture, for young people, that, the first chance we get, we'll grab it.
It's just the opportunity of a lifetime, really.
This program really raised the bar of what we can do with our education program, and I think any future Urban Pioneers program that we do will have to be judged against the high standards set by King's Cross.